Institutional investors selling off. The fear of what is going to come of these tariffs are really shaking up the market right now. But at the same time, it's also creating amazing opportunities for us option sellers. In today's video, we're going to be talking about SMCI's recent reporting. We're going to be talking about the big earnings that are coming from Nvidia. And then also, most importantly, looking at potential opportunities for us as option sellers. Let's go over the shoulder. All right, guys, so these are interesting times we're living in, that's for sure. You know, you could see our fear and greed index now is at 22 of extreme fear. Some news coming out. Obviously, SMCI, you guys have heard me talk about it. You know, I'm not an investor in this company. And I'll save that for another video as to why, but they didn't get delisted. Yay, they were supposed to file yesterday, and they did, just in the nick of time before being delisted. So you could see they popped off. So, you know, what I'm watching today is we need something, right? Right, guys, we need something. We need a little bit of a push in this market. It's been a bit of a bloodbath this week, right? You know, there's a lot of sell-off. I believe it's a lot of institutional investors, and there's a lot of fear and unknown of tariffs. And yo, guys, let's be honest. It's been a great few years in the markets, right? Like it's healthy to have these pullbacks, right? But, you know, I'm looking at SMCI, right, with the news yesterday. Hopefully can kind of like push things here, you know, at open, you know, being up, you know, basically 20% here, which is great. Guys, today, you know, it's Wednesday, right? Nvidia is dropping earnings, guys. This is going to be another big thing that could either shake the market up more or, you know, give us a little bit of a rally, right? So we're gonna see, you know, guys. I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't know. Even if I eat my words, like, I don't know, man. I'm very curious what's gonna come. I mean, they've obviously been crushing it, but that last earnings report was just an absolute monster. So, you know, with now having that expectation, right, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just watching it, you know. Either way, I'm going to show you guys some of the plays that I'm looking at. Like, if we kind of go into, you know, not bear market, but like we kind of start having even more pullbacks. Like, I'm really looking at more stable companies, but, you know, their last earnings was insanity, guys. Like, I don't know, and that's a problem when you keep like just crushing it. Like, how far can you keep going? Now, look, I wouldn't be surprised either way if there's a fantastic earnings or great earnings. But the problem, the problem with Nvidia, guys, is it don't matter if they double beat earnings like they did the last 2 quarters, the stock still dropped, right? So it's like, it's wild times, right? It's wild times what we're doing. So, you know, obviously keep an eye out, guys. Obviously, this is one of the most valuable you know, companies on the planet. That, you know, if we can get a little bit of momentum here, right, we get, you know, we can really see things kind of, you know, pushing a little bit more into that green, right? Because we've been struggling a little bit here, guys, but that's okay, right? Because, you know, us as option sellers, we can dollar cost average back into good companies that we actually want to get into, and that's what we're going to get into here in a second. You know, we're looking at Palantir as well. You know, it's good, right? We're seeing a little bit of a, you know, a jump here at morning, which is fantastic. You know, up over a little 2.5%. You know, which is good. We're starting to see a little bit. Let's see what SPY's doing this morning. I always like to check SPY as well at open as well. So, you know, just kind of sideways right now, a little bit in the green, which is fine. I think this dropped down to like 590 yesterday, so it's nice to see a little bit of recovery here. So let's kind of talk about some of the potential setups for us option sellers. What should we be looking at during these red times, right? Because look, as much as people like to say, yo, option selling is only good for bull markets, no, to me, I love selling options in both markets because I get to now dollar cost average into great companies and collect some juicy premium from those cash secured puts at the same time, right? So first one is Google. Listen, you know, this is a company that, you know, I don't think anybody would be upset holding Google for the long term. And, you know, this is a company that also doesn't have an out of whack PE ratio around 21, right? So this is a company that I'm going to be looking to expand my position in. Let's take a look at the chart right here to see if we have any. Yeah, so we are trending. The setups are looking nice. I'm just being, guys. I'm being honest. Like, I posted this in the group, and if you're not in our free mastermind group, we're the only option seller mastermind group. That's all we talk about, right? The best way to trade options is selling options, in my opinion. If you want to join us, and we've been talking back and forth here, all of us. So it's free down below, and then also there'll be another link if you want to get my trade ideas every single Sunday. I run a newsletter. It's such a fun time. Obviously, it is free, and I send you just one email every single Sunday with a bunch of my plays. And so what I'm looking at here is, hey, where's our 200-day moving average? So you can see our 200-day moving average for Google is 175, and we just dipped under that. We're at 174 right now. But I'm being patient right now. I just want to see. I want to just see what this week's going to do, guys, especially today with Nvidia doing earnings. I feel like, again, a lot of that's going to, come into play here. I do believe that we're seeing this big sell-off because of institutional investors. Again, locking in gains isn't a bad thing. That's why I love selling covered calls and cash secured puts, because it forces me to buy companies, sell companies, and get out and lock in real gains. And I believe that's what's happening a lot with institutional investors right now, because guess what? The past few years have been incredible for them, and it's time to lock in some of that, right? Not just look at it, gains on a screen, but actually lock in some real gains, okay? And that means stocks are going to go lower. And there's why are they doing this? Listen, nobody knows why, but my opinion is, number one, tariffs, right? We don't know what's going to happen there, right? And number two, obviously the market popped off once Trump took office, and that's fantastic, right? But that what do you call it? Like a honeymoon phase? It's kind of coming to an end, right? Everything was popped off, going green, but dude, it wasn't sustainable, guys. Come on, it wasn't sustainable. So these kind of pullbacks, they're not bad things. Don't be worried here. The only time you should be worried, especially if you follow what we teach here with selling options, is if you were getting into some really sketchy companies just chasing premium, right? So I really like Google's setup right now. Again, I'm being patient. I could jump into this right now, but I'm just going to stay a little bit patient. I love that 200-day moving average is above our stock price right now, and the premiums are going to start looking juicy. I'm hoping, if it drops a little bit lower, which would be, a blessing, getting in puts at the 150s, 150, 155s, I would love that. I would love to own Google around those prices. You can see our RSI here. We're at a 31, 32 right now. So we're doing a bit of a sell-off here, right? So, this is one of the companies that, again, this is one of my long-term holders. I wouldn't, this is a company I'm fine if I have to hold it for 5+ years, right? Next one is going to be Amazon, right? A little bit of a nice jump today, up 1% at the open. Taking a look at the chart again, we're in that 35 RSI here, right? And I'm going to try to be better at dictating. I know what you guys have mentioned. I try to listen, guys. I'm doing this for fun. I enjoy doing this stuff, and I hope I bring some value, especially some entertainment to you as well. Sometimes I know some of y'all don't like that, by the way. Which, bruh, what? If you ain't having fun doing this, dude, I'm not for you. You don't gotta comment and say I can't say, bro. Right? That's my word. Right? So I like to make this stuff entertaining. So if you like to be entertained and have fun with this, and you're a little lighthearted person, you ain't a toxic dude that likes to be the Picasso of candlesticks, as I like to call you guys. All right? Then this is the channel for you, right? We busy people, we got lives, right? But we also like to be in the markets and make money, right? Welcome, right? Click like, subscribe, and comment for your chance to win. I keep forgetting to say it, guys. One lucky commenter is going to win an option strategy call. And that actually, it's probably smart for me to do it in the middle of the video. So not everybody just gets one. And the conversations have been awesome with you guys. I love all of you. You all are so cool. Fire me up to do this every morning. So what are we looking at Amazon? Look, we're still trading up well above the 200-day moving average of $198. So I do think there might be some room to go here before I really consider getting into it. If you guys know, I mentioned it often, is with my cash secured puts, I ideally, and obviously it's never always the case, especially with more of the growth stocks. But I like to get in at that 200-day moving average, right? It's just it's a good resistance level, right? That you can kind of, again, there's no guarantee. We don't know, right? But like, I don't mind owning a stock if it's been trading at a certain, at a price for 200 days on average. I like to own it around that price, right? I don't want to be paying like a well over that. Now, we're not super well over that. We're at 215. It's still a decent amount. So, puts here, I want to be below that 200-day average. I want to see a chart like this, right? Where that 200-day average and the stock price cross, while at the same time RSI being fairly sold off. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I do have like a beginner playlist here on YouTube talking all things selling options. I'll leave that link down below in the description. I put all like the beginner content like RSI, Bollinger Bands, like all that good stuff about selling options down below. And of course, feel free, drop comment and ask your questions as well, and you get entered into win a free options call with me. So those are my two big ones, right? Like Google and Amazon, I love, right? I love these companies, have no problem holding them long term, right? And my last company, I did mention it in yesterday's video, is Walmart. You could see we're having a decent day here on Walmart, right? So again, just watching here. I'm watching here again. I want to see it get down towards that 200-day moving average before I get puts in. I don't know if that's going to happen with Walmart, but that's the best part about this, guys, right? Like, that's the best part about it, is like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, right? It's all about being patient and let the setups come to you. Yo, listen, I'm going to drop a little bit of wisdom. Hopefully I can drop wisdom. I've been doing this for 7 years, so I have a little bit of wisdom to share. And this is probably like one of the most important things I can tell you as somebody getting into specifically selling options, but you could even do this in anything in life. Listen, don't go chasing setups. Don't go trying to convince yourself that it's a good setup. There's setups out there, but let them come to you. And that requires patience, guys. It requires patience. And that the thing about being an option seller is you're not out there trading every single day. Sometimes you are, but you're not out there trading. You're looking and waiting for the setups to come to you, right? So you got to be patient. Like, I can totally go out there and sell puts on Walmart right now, right? If I really want to get into the stock, but I might not get the best deal possible if maybe I'm just a little bit patient and see what happens, right? Like, it's so key. So for example, let's go into Celsius, right? Like, this was a big win for the community, right? We were able to get in and out of our cash secured puts, and look at this massive pullback that we had, guys. Look at this massive pullback that we had. What, we hit like 30, close to 35 or over 35. Now we're back down to 27. We got in and out of those cash secured puts and cover calls real quick because of that, right? So look at now if you still like Celsius, right? Now, okay, let's be patient. Let's see, are we going to get a setup here, right? We're still well above or well below that 200-day moving average. Still a company I believe in. So I'm, again, being patient with Celsius here. Once we start working our way down towards this bottom Bollinger Band, right, that's where I'm going to start considering opening up some more puts, right? But again, like, that's a decision you need to make. And on companies like Celsius, definitely I would say is more of a riskier play. But come on, go look at those earnings, baby. Those are insane double B earnings. So I'm very hopeful for this company. You guys see me talk about it, quite a bit on the channel. And it was actually one of our call out companies in our group. And I also mentioned American Airlines. Let me just quickly show American Airlines. Here is another one I am monitoring today. I don't like to trade usually first 30 minutes to hour. So what I've decided is, hopefully that's my time. I could do like a quick video. So American Airlines is working a little bit of a pullback here, but we're working our way towards that 200-day moving average, which I won't want to. I've been trading American Airlines for a very long time. You can see 36 RSI. So hopefully we continue to see a bit of more of a sell off, because I would love to be buying this around get my puts in at like $13, $13.50. That's where I would love to be with American Airlines. But with that said, a lot of these airline companies, guys, I have my concerns about. I did mention this before. Another one that I love to do the wheel strategy and sell options on is Southwest. But I feel like the market with airlines right now is kind of sketchy. I mean, it seems like every week or every day you hear news about some sort of accidents happening or two planes colliding. So much so much, right? So I think there's a big fear, and again, I was at the barber and I was talking to my barber, and he's like, yeah, me and my wife ain't going nowhere. We're not traveling anytime soon with all this, and like, there was another barber. He's like, yeah, same. Like, there's this weird thing, and this is where I talk about like a little edge that you might have, where you start like being a little bit more present in your conversations, and you listen to what people are saying. And then I even was like talking to my mom, my sisters, and I'm like, wow, like there's a lot of sentiment out there that people are just not wanting to fly right now because they're scared, right? It's just like, like I don't know, right? So like it's kind of just like, hey, if I don't have to do it, I'm not gonna go out of my way to travel right now. So I'm treading lightly with the airlines. I'm watching it. Long term, obviously, I think they're fantastic plays, especially with Wheel. But I think short term, I don't know. I feel like these earnings reports that are going to come from like these companies, the next earnings, are going to be definitely something to watch out for. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit like, hit follow. Make sure to drop a comment down below for your chance to win a free option strategy call with me, and check those links as well. There's a free beginner course down there here on YouTube, and then there's 2 links. Join our free mastermind group, as well as our weekly newsletter that I set out on Sundays. It's a great time, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I will see you tomorrow.